TIFU, an online review of a bar and grill leads to being denied service. I live in a small town where everybody knows everybody. And one of the few restaurants in this town changed ownership. No big deal, right? Well, as one would expect, many things about this restaurant changed with new management. There's a new food supplier, meaning a change in food quality. There's a new rearrangement of tables and chairs. And unfortunately a noticeable drop in how quick service is. Like I would be seated at 11:30 a.m. just ahead of the lunch rush. And I wouldn't get my food until 12:30 p.m. I know they have the wait staff. But for whatever reason, they want one waitress doing all the tables. I got it in my mind that I ought to leave a review that got me in hot water with the new owner. If you would have asked me before, old owner sold the restaurant's name, I would have told you that it would be a 10 out of 10 experience 100% of the time. Unfortunately, with new owner, there's been a lot of changes, both good and bad. Unfortunately, the only waitress doing all the tables means she falls behind with getting food and drinks to everyone in a timely manner. Old owner used to have up to 4 waitresses working at a time. And at the time of writing this, all of them are still employed. If one couldn't make it, old owner would help the wait staff. I have not once seen new owner get off his ass in the back room to help with an overwhelmed waitress. This is just from my observation alone during the lunch rush. The weekends bring almost triple the foot traffic. And there's still only one waitress working. I've heard people saying it took up to 2 hours before they were served their food. The solution is simply going back to the old model the old owner had, which is having more than one waitress working at a time. So nobody is being overwhelmed. New owner needs to get off his ass and be a leader and not a boss until new owner decides to put more waitresses on the floor. I'd recommend buying all the beer and food that'll satisfy you, and then close out your tab. Well, turns out that their boss watches online reviews like a hawk. And he came across my review and complained about it to the waitress working that day. Several days passed by, and I decided to go over to the restaurant's bar side for a few beers with friends after we got done hauling away some cows. We all belly up at the bar, get carded by the bartender, and then get our beers. With all the banter going on with my buddies, the new owner managed to walk by at just the right time and caught wind of my name. Dude straight up asks, "Are you my first name?" I confirm that to him. And then he asks, "Last name, right?" I confirm to him that both were correct. His next question was pretty much, "If you hate the service here so much, why are you even here in the first place?" Quote. I ask him what he meant by that, and he pulls out his phone and shows the review I left for the restaurant. I forgot I used my Google account with my name. I also forgot that I even left a review, because I was drunk and laying in bed at that point. He put me on the spot and repeated the question. I just respond with saying, "We're just having a couple beers." The guy responds with, "Yay. Well, I think you should take your business elsewhere." I ask what he meant, and he just says, "I didn't stutter. It's messed up that you would spend money at the business you threw shade at, and not considering a consequence." As he points at the door, I ask him if I could finish my beer. The dude says, "No," and keeps pointing at the door. I chuckle nervously, NGL, and say, "I can pay my tab," and he basically said, "No. I just want you out. Now leave. Bye." I leave, and my buddies just went ahead and gunned down their beers. We decided to just meet up at someone's shop and drink there anyways. TLDR. I got refused service for leaving a bad review at my small town bar and grill. Oddly enough, the waitresses there agree with me that they need more waitresses working at a time. The sign of a bad business is pushing away customers instead of taking in their criticisms for improvement. Source: Kitchen Nightmares. Now you have more details to add to your review. You should double down and add the last experience to your review. Time to update your review, I guess. If you hate the service so much, why are you here? That's why I'm at the bar and not at a table. Leave another review saying you wanted to give the place another chance, but the owner was aggressive without being provoked, unnecessary, and that a sign of bad business is management not being able to respond to feedback in a constructive way, etc. I'd go back tomorrow and see what happens. You might get turned away at the door, or you might get half a free beer then turned away. Yeah, I'd leave another review with this info. If a person isn't willing to listen to positive criticism, then people need to know. I always appreciate honest reviews that are worded out without out-of-control anger. I hope you left a second scathing review of the establishment. Time to get on your other Google accounts that don't have your name on it and put up this story as the perspective of another customer who saw the owner kick out a group of people because of leaving a bad review. Reminds me of a story told about one of my neighbors. They're working in logging about an hour away from home and end up in a bar. He gets a little loud and they throw him out. Since they're all riding together, he's stuck. Changes shirts, throws on a hat and walks back in. Anyone seen my brother? He got to stay that time. Amend your review to include this exchange. Time to open your own bar and grill out of spite and make it more popular. Add that to the review. You need to update your review to say this. This isn't okay. A reputable and respectable business would welcome your feedback and invite you back to give you a better experience, not act bitter and resentful and kick you out. Update your review and don't ever go back. In the updated review, make sure to include suggestions of other bars people can go to in place of this one. So multiple PPL have a problem with how he's running it. It's in a small town with a limited customer base. And you were at least a semi-regular. And instead of addressing the problem, he banned you as a customer, further shrinking his customer base. Fucking Trump-level business acumen on this guy. Pro revenge. Looks like you need to open your own place. Hire all his staff away and use the old owner's food supplier. Leave another review! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! It has been my experience that bar owners like that do not last. If you know anyone looking to buy into that type business, this would be a good time for them to start getting their ducks in a row for a discount purchase in 6 months to a year. Update the review. Add the part where you got kicked out for writing the review. If I leave a bad review, I make it a point to never return unless I've heard from multiple sources that it's worth returning for a second chance. If there's a change in ownership and I dislike the direction it's gone in. Same thing. Why continue to put money into a place you are clearly dissatisfied with?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.